Welcome warriors, HolyFerengi, Android games and more. The game Raid Shadow Legends. Today clearing challenge 3.3 by beating Force Keep stage 7 on auto. What you're seeing on screen right now, the selected heroes, is what so far worked best for me. So if that is what you're here for, have a good look at the champions selected, have a good look at the champions available down in the selection. Those are all viable candidates. The champions selected on the upper left are just a combination that worked quite well for me while trying out all those champions you see in the lower row. They are all more or less suitable for Force Keep. Please keep in mind we should try to stick with red or green champions, with Force or Spirit champions. Interesting about this particular keep, Force Keep, and this particular challenge, Dungeon Challenge 3.3, is other than challenges for Void Keep, Spirit Keep, and Magic Keep, we are not asked to use a particular skill, but have to find out for ourselves what skill or what skill combination we want to use. I'd say we jump right into it. You've seen there are quite many of different champions we can use. So basically there are two strategies we could go for. We could build a dedicated Force Keep team, which would also allow us to gear them in a specialized way using interesting sets like Savage or Cruel. Both, I don't want to miss that auto off. Okay, auto off. Both ignore defense. Savage ignores 25% defense. Cruel ignores 5% of defense and gives 15% attack. Savage is a 4-piece set, Cruel is a 2-piece set. Savage is available on Fire Knight Castle, while Cruel is available from Clan Boss. We could also think about using Fury, which gives us ever more damage the more our health points are decreasing. Or we could try Regen to outrun it a little bit. Maybe one of the smartest besides of Savage and Cruel would be Toxic, because when we look at his passive skill, Force Armor passive level 1 increases defense to 4000. It goes even more up on the higher stages. So defense 4000, that is quite massive. The beauty about Toxic, 50% chance to apply 2.5% poison, is even if you don't have Kale as starter like I have, even if you don't have particular rares or epics with a lot of poisons, you can still get some poison into the team. The beauty about this is poisons and HP burn, health point burn, both ignore defense altogether. All you need is high accuracy to apply HP burn or defense, and they will reduce by 5% or 2.5%. If you combine it with Weaken by 6.25% of health points. So that's a nice way to get around the high defense using poisons and HP burn. Another skillful way to deal with this dungeon is to use combinations of attack increase, let's say 50% attack increase, like Spirit Host has it here, combined with decreased defense, 30% or better 60%, plus Weaken. Weaken increases damage by 25%. So those three are also a very nice combination, which gives us the second way already. First way, we could use HP burn and poison. Second way, attack increase, defense down, and Weaken. We could also go a strategy of turn meter and speed manipulation. So we have many different options in this particular dungeon, but let's keep having a look at Force Guardian himself. Smite level 1 attacks all enemies, has a 60% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So Spirit Host clearing debuffs or Harris clearing debuffs, they are both quite nice. Shield Guard, of course, because he clears debuffs on himself 1 per round. Quake level 1 attacks all enemies, has 50% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. Both debuffs cannot be resisted. What was cooldown? 4 turns? Yes, 4 turns cooldown. Both cannot be resisted, so resistance itself is not of great importance other than spider dungeons. You don't need to have any great emphasis on resistance in the long run. So his minions, his Force Keep Guardians, those have skills themselves as well. So one is they use increased defense buffs, 60% on Force Guardian, which means we're at 6,200, 6,300 defense when this buff is applied on him. And they also have 100% heal reduction debuff. So what we're facing debuff-wise is 100% heal reduction, decrease attack 50%, and stun. So I'd say we just let it run again. He also has, like all the other bosses, Almighty Immunity, immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block, cooldown skills, fear, and true fear. And he is also immune to HP exchange, HP balancing effects, and cooldown increasing effects. But speed decrease and turn meter decrease, both are working. The smart thing to do in this particular dungeon is to either go for the same skill on different heroes. If you have 2 or 3 heroes using 60% defense decrease, trying to apply a continuous stream of 60% decrease of defense, preferably as first attack skill, that is a viable idea. Like I said, if you do that, it's best combined with attack increase or weaken. If you go for poisons, on the other hand, then you better should have Kael as your starting hero, because this series is mainly focused on freely available champions, freely available to everyone. So the farmable ones, the ones you get from the market and from green shards, that's what this tutorial series is focusing on. So around stage 13 I might take other rares summoned from blue shards. It's simply a probability thing at that stage. Many of you will have those champions as well, so it starts to get interesting looking into them as well. Until that, I will try to focus on farmables and market and green shard only, because some of them are really good, like Shield Guard. And the other 3 you see are farmable: Sorceress, Sewers of Arnoc, War Maiden, she is from the Deadlands, Spirit Host, Durham, Forrest. That's where you can get them. Kael, of course, my chosen starter. He is superb for Force Keep. We have a 2.5% poison, 80% chance to proc, lasting 2 turns on his A1, so every turn we get a chance to get those poison in. His Acid Rain is only effective as a turn meter increase of 25% until the minions, until the waves are cleared, until the minions are taken down. It's very effective until then, and it still deals a lot of damage after that, so this too is a very good skill. Disintegrate, level 6, attacks 4 times at random, has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. It is a beautiful skill for Force Keep. It circumvents the poisons, circumvent defense. It is an awesome skill for clan boss, so the discussion continues. What is the best starter? I would say Kael is probably, for those 2 keeps at least, the best one. Ercel, she is better suited for Fire Knight. Well, they are all good. I just love Kael. That's just the way it is. So Sorceress A1, attacks 1 enemy, has 30% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. So we have 30, cannot be increased. We have a 30% chance of slowing him down a little bit. Every little bit counts. Her second skill attacks 1 enemy 2 times, has a 20% chance of placing an extra hit. Yeah, it's nice, especially when cooldown is decreased to 1%. It can be scaled up to 30% chance of placing an extra hit, and damage can be increased up to 20%. So Winecrab, level 1, attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. She is not fully ascended to 3 stars yet. Once you do that, it's a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Cooldown can be reduced to 4 turns. Sorceress is a good champion for this dungeon. She has that extra damage capability. She has defense down with 4 turns cooldown. She has decreased speed. She is a very good champion for Firekeep. Spirit Host, of course. Green is sustainable in Firekeep anyway. She also is self-healing, 50% of damage inflicted. If you would put her into Cruel or Savage gear to get more damage by circumventing part of defense, you will get a lot more HP regeneration out of that. You could also try Lifesteal, but generally speaking, I think for Firekeep, for her at least, Savage and Cruel are better than putting Lifesteal on her. So her second places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. 3 turns cooldown. This is a very important skill for for Force Keep. Very important skill. The more damage we can do, especially when we decrease defense and combine it with weaken, the faster we get it all over. Block debuffs. Yeah, well, that one doesn't really work. Stun cannot be resisted, and decreased attack cannot be resisted in this keep. But at least we can remove all debuffs that are on the team already. If you go for speed, her aura could be suitable unless you choose to go with Harris. Instead, her speed aura is a little bit higher. She, by the way, is not part of this selection here. She is viable, but Spirit Host is far more suitable. Shield Guard, you should really have an eye out for him. His passive removes 1 debuff from this champion each turn, which is a very powerful skill in dungeons and campaign. And well, Battle Stance, his second, attacks all enemies, fills this champion's turn meter by 20% on each critical hit. Damage inflicted proportional to defense. So he is a defense champion, and he is green, so he is lasting quite long in Force Keep. For clearing the waves, he is quite useful. You can see his second can be skilled down to 2 turns of cooldown. So he is very capable of clearing the waves. Very nice alternative instead of using Sniper or using Archer to help your starter to clear the waves. His first one attacks one enemy, has 30% chance of placing 15% decrease speed debuff for 2 turns. So debuff chance can be increased to 35%. I've already done that with him. He's available from green shards and market, so he's actually quite easy to skill, more easy than farmable rares. You remember Sorceress, she also had 15, let's go back in there. She also had 15%, okay, don't know what that was. She also has 15% decreased speed debuff, so those two should be able together to apply this in a more consistent fashion. War Maiden, she is an awesome arena champion, also very suitable for Force Keep. Her first one has 2.5% poison, which makes her awesome for Force Keep. If you would have a specialized version of her just for Force Keep and put her into Toxic gear, you had one 30% chance and one 50% chance to apply 2.5% poison. So she would, not every turn, but every second or third turn, be capable of applying 5% poison damage onto the Force Keeper. Combine this with other poison champions and you have a very, very nice strategy there already. Her second attacks one enemy, place 50% increase attack buff on this champion and places an extra hit if this attack is critical. The extra hit cannot be critical. So, well, nice. Even if we don't have a Spirit Host or another increase attack buffer, she is still able to do that on her own. It does not say how long. Okay. Places a 15% increase attack buff on this champion. It does not say for how many turns. So maybe it's 1 turn, maybe it's 2 turns, I don't know. Sorry about this. 3 turns cooldown. She 2 is not fully ascended to 3 stars yet. If she is fully ascended, she has 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. At the moment, it's 30%. Both versions have 75% chance to proc. Cooldown can be skilled down to 3 turns, and now the beautiful thing, that skill can be skilled up to 100% proc, so no ambiguity, it's just straight up accuracy against defense, accuracy against resistance, no proc chance involved if you fully skill her up. Very, very beautiful champion for force keep, powerful champion in arena as well. So those are the ones I had chosen for this particular run. It is also the fastest one I've tried here. Let's have a look at the other champions. First of all, he is very at the end. Shaman. Attacks one enemy, 25% chance of removing one random buff. Can be skilled up to 35%. It's not much. It's not important either because we take out those minions and don't need to remove that 60% defense increase buff on the Guardian himself. But exploit weakness is actually very nice for this particular keep, because with 15% increased C rate, we have a greater chance without spending too much silver. We need to do it anyway in the long run, but not at this particular stage in our account development. Have a 15% higher chance to get critical hits, and well, those 50% extra damage or 60% extra damage, they really count in this particular keep. She's also red, so she's not as vulnerable as the blue champions. She has her revive, so if you lose one of your champions, she is still alive. Very good to at least get him or her back for a short moment. In no particular order, let's continue with Templar. Templar attacks one enemy, has 30% chance of placing 30% decrease speed debuff for 2 turns. So he too is viable for turn meter and speed manipulation tactics. And his second attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has 25% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. Provoke won't work on the boss, but well, hey, there is 1 turn of block damage. Never. When I tried him for this keep, he was still on level 6 without gear. He is still without gear, and he survives the first 2 waves, and he also survives a little bit in front of the Guardian. Not too long, of course, without gear, and only level 6 or level 13 now. Contempt attacks with this champion's default skill whenever an enemy places a debuff on this champion. I will be very happy to ascend him to 3 stars to see if it works on stun as well. Would be quite nice. He gets stunned and attacks just to sleep around. His aura increases ally resist in arena by 50%. Doesn't do anything here. Let's have a look at Berserker. There he is. Berserker. Attacks one enemy, fills this champion turn meter by 30% if this attack is critical. So if you would go for a turn meter manipulation, speed manipulation, tactic, would go nice together with Shaman. Same goes for Archer and Sniper and Shield Guard. They too have turn meter manipulation on themselves, but if critical hits are struck. So Force Keep is all about combining different skills in a way that you get a nice recipe, a nice combination. Let's call it that way. Kaerok level 1 attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn if the target is killed. It doesn't help us anymore when we are at the boss already. Can be scaled down to 3 turns, so at least during the first wave he gets an extra turn, but Kael and Shield Guard or Kael and Sniper or Kael and Archer are totally capable of clearing that first wave in a blink of an eye. Sweep, his third, level 1, attacks all enemies 2 times. If ascended, ignores 20% of target's defense. So here you have another hero who would go quite nice either with Fury, which increases damage when his HP decreases, or with Savage and Cruel, which both give you 25 or 5% ignoring defense. His second skill, in this case, if you would use both, would ignore 50% of defense, and these kind of skills are generally more powerful than the A1 skills. So he is quite interesting, quite nice to play around with Savage and Cruel. I just had to mention that here. So, Tunnel Steward. Tunnel Steward, he has very, very bad ratings, but it's only 56 reviews, so I wouldn't give too much about those bad ratings. They can change quite fast. I remember Bulwark, he was rated quite good, but not superb, almost everywhere when he had the same amount of reviews, and I couldn't see him anywhere but Clan Boss, and then a week later with 4 times that many of reviews, he was read everywhere except Clan Boss, where he has a very high rating. And Bulwark, if you have him, Void, Dwarf, awesome for Clan Boss. His weaken and his HP burn and his defense, what was it called? Punishing defenses, quite awesome. But where was Tunnel Steward here? Tunnel Steward, Burnham Killer, level 1, attacks one enemy, has 25% chance of placing 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. There aren't too many 100% free-to-play champions with poison skills. You get better ones if you have blue shard luck. That is 100% true. You can get better poison champions than Tunnel Steward. If you don't get them, he is still able to get up to 35% chance of putting those 2.5% poison. Dwarves are normally quite sturdy, quite tanky, slow but tanky. He has attack, so he is not that tanky, but he is green and he has poison, and he has 50% chance of increasing the duration of 2 random debuffs on the target for 1 turn. So this skill can be cooled down to 3 turns. Basically, this is what Punishing Defenses does. Bulwark's passive skill. Here we have it as second skill. Cooldown 30%. He has 50% chance. Bulwark has only 30% chance. He has only 2 random debuffs. Bulwark increases all debuffs. So basically he is the cheap version of Bulwark, available from green shards, available on the market. So reviews are bad, I mentioned that already, but I will skill him nevertheless. I will build him up nevertheless because I want to know. He does not look too bad, so let's give him a try. Let's give him a shot, give him a chance. I let you know later on. Dervish. Her second ceiling error, heal reduction, it doesn't really help us too much. I don't even know if AI will use it or not. At least it still does damage, it does more damage than her A1, but her A1 is the nice part. Attacks 2 times at random, has 25% chance of placing 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Can be skilled up to 35% chance to proc. So every second turn you can expect her to successfully apply that 30% decreased defense debuff in average every second turn. That's what makes her so nice for this dungeon. We have 60% decreased defense debuffers on our list already, so, and she is blue, so she is viable but not the best choice, but she belongs in here, so there she is. Dervish, very good champion for many keeps, suitable for force keep, but not top tier for force keep. If you use her anyway and you don't want to level up anyone else, then, well, better than nothing, isn't it? Crusader. You might not have expected him in here, but first of all, he is red, and second, I have him on level 4, skilled to level 4, can be skilled down to 2 turns, cooldown, attacks 1 enemy with 1 random ally. The ally joining the attack uses their default skill. So if you have the idea to make a poison and HP team, or a team based on continuously applying debuffs on A1 skill, but you lack the number of champions capable doing that with their A1 skill, but you have Crusader, then he is someone to think about. Because every second turn, one of the other champions is joining in to his attack, applying their A1. And if you have weaken on there, if you have decreased defense or decreased speed or a poison attack on there, that will be triggered as well. So basically, if you lack the champions then he is a suitable substitute. Let's call it this way. His A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Yeah, it's nice. He is a good champion. He is not one of the best. He can be used here. He belongs into the list. That's why he's here. War Priest. Yeah, she might be the least capable of all heroes in that selection. The only thing she really brings to bear is her second Divine Light level 1. Heals a target ally by 20% of their max HP. Heals all allies except the target by 10% of their max HP. If you have her skilled high up anyway, then she's green. She has an advantage. She is support type champion. Her defense is quite okay. Her HP is quite okay. So on higher levels, she is quite sustainable, not as much as Shield Guard. She goes down much faster than Shield Guard. But she is one of the very few healers available to everyone. So she kind of really belongs in here. Her third attack, Bless Weapons, 25% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Well, yeah, what to say? We have 50% attack type champions, 50% increase attack buffers in our selection, so she doesn't really shine here. But at least her buff, the smaller version, does not replace the 50% version if it's in effect, but might come at a time where your 50% buffer has not applied his skill, is on cooldown, whatever. So her first attacks one enemy, has 15% chance of placing a freeze debuff. It does not work on the Force Guardian. We don't need it in the waves. So yeah, she's green. She's a healer. Not the only, but one of the very, very few freely available healers we have for 100% free to play. So I'm sorry to put that in here, but for that reason she belongs in here. Later stages of Force Keep can go on for quite some time depending of your strategy. So if you have a strategy running shields and healing, with I don't know, poison or attack or whatever, then yeah, maybe. So since we're here already, let's have a look at Valerie. Valerie's first attacks one enemy, nothing special here. Her second, that decrease attack can be reduced to 1 turn. Her skill cooldown can be reduced to 3 turns. So every 3 turns we have the chance to reduce the decrease attack debuff the Guardian places on us, which cannot be resisted, to reduce it by 1 turn. If ascended, she also increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn, and she also places a 25% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So Valerie and catching a cold or something. Valerie and War Priest together can be interesting. Both she is blue, Valerie is green. Sorry, Valerie is blue, War Priest is green. So yeah, if that's what you have, then give it a try. If you have Valerie, let's say for Arena already, just give it a try. Her shield can be quite powerful, and it can bring you through the waves without taking any damage whatsoever. Her aura increases ally HP, and faction scripts is of no use here, but she is a powerful shield buffer. Put her into shield gear and, well, they are not perfect, but they are both good champions. And War Priest the only healer, Shield Guard the only natural shield buffer we have freely available to everyone, so they belong here. Vigilante, now it gets more interesting again. Vigilante second, Branding Iron, attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has 50% chance of placing 15% beacon debuff for 1 turn. So that is a 15% increase of damage. His skill can be scaled to cooldown 3 turns, and proc chance can be increased to 65%. So every 3 turns you get 15% more damage. It doesn't sound too much, but depending on the team you put him in, he can be quite interesting. And he is an HP type champion, which means His HP and his defense will make him a quite long-lasting one, especially here. He is green. Holy Blade, level 4, attacks one enemy 2 times. Well, Vigilante, I made some runs with him and he actually works quite well. Better than I would have expected. Now here is a choice. She is 3 stars because I actually wanted to use her as food. Interestingly, I always use her as food until I started this 100% free-to-play account. Split, level 1, attacks one enemy, places 25% increased attack buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack is critical. Nothing really special about it, but better than many other A1s. Elven Blade, level 1, attacks one enemy, has 50% chance of placing 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Cooldown can be reduced to 3 turns, and proc chance can be increased to 75%. If you have never seen her or never heard of her, I wouldn't believe you at all. She is literally the menace of Durham Forrest, stage 5 and stage 6. When you're still struggling on normal or hard, or then when you go up to brutal and your champions aren't skilled to the point that they cut through those stages to butter, you will face 2. On stage 5 you will face 2 Redeemers, on stage 6 you will face 3 Redeemers, and that Elven Blade skill can really make a havoc out of your starter if you're trying to level some food on there. So you probably have seen her already. She is red, she's an attack type champion, so she is not really an advantage, and attack normally doesn't tank too well, but for the time she is alive, she can do some real nasty damage beyond what she actually looks like to that Guardian or his minions. I always used her at food until I started this free-to-play account, and well, I'm gonna give her a try. Her review ratings for Force Keep are quite good. I should have written it down. I will write it on screen for you, since this particular screen does not give us any ability to have a look at the reviews. Thank you very much for this, Plarium. We all love you. Sometimes. Sniper and Archer. Those two, they I think they shouldn't need any more introduction. I talk about those two in almost every guide just because Sniper is given to you by Arbiter right in the beginning of the game. Archer is almost her twin. They are just a little bit different in their HP, defense, and attack stats. Otherwise, skill-wise, they're the same. And they're basically duplicates that can be skilled from market or green shard duplicates quite easily at the same time. They are awesome to clear waves. They are very good damage dealers. They are suitable for almost every dungeon, including Force Keep, despite the fact that they are blue champions. Archer, Sniper, if you want to have a specialized version of a particular multi-capable damage dealer for this Force Keep, for Force Keep, then put her into Savage, put her into Cruel, or put her into Lifesteal, or Regeneration, or Toxic. Awesome free-to-play champions. I just have to repeat that again and again and again. So let's deselect them. All the other guides I made so far feature them a little bit more. So I don't do this here. Just that. Yeah, I'm in love with them. Let me say it this way. Next one we take a look at is Jisoo. Jisoo, we get him at our second week new player reward, and he is green, he has defense, and he also packs a punch, so that makes him quite interesting. And you might want to use him in arena, so you might have him anyway. Remember the 2 different strategies: either you go for a specialized team, or you just reuse what you use in other dungeons anyway and combine it in a way that is effective. His first Reaping Blows, level 1, attacks one enemy 2 times. Beyond double attack, nothing special about it. Fierce Protector places a shield buff for 3 turns and a counter attack buff for 2 turns on an ally. The value of shield is proportional to this champion's defense. Here you have a chance to get some A1 poison or some A1 weaken or some A1 decreased defense applied more than 1 time. Get a proc chance for that more than 1 time per turn. That makes him actually quite quite interesting for this dungeon. If Ascended places a shield buff for 3 turns and a counterattack buff for 2 turns on one ally, grants an extra turn. Yeah! The value of shield is proportional to this champion's defense. So here you have a very beautiful skill, usable in many different situations that does not cost you a turn. So Jisoo is actually a very good free-to-play champion. Ryle, level 1, his 3rd skill, attacks one enemy, has 80% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns, places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns. So his provoke won't work on the Guardian himself. We take out his minions quite fast, we rush through those waves, but continuous heal, 15%, the bigger version, on a defense champion that is green in a red dungeon, who gives us increase attack 18%. Well, I'd say he is force keep material, unless you want to have a speed aura or HP aura or defense aura. But if you use him anyway, he is very capable. I've run him without gear. He has no gear on. I started running him at level 10 and he's doing quite well. Ritualist. She is blue, that puts one enemy 2 times, has 15% chance of decreasing enemy max HP by 25% of the damage dealt. So if you're building a poison team, you shouldn't use her. Poison, HP burn, it all goes from max HP. She is reducing max HP, so if you use her together with poison or HP, don't do this. You shoot your own foot. Don't do this. Attacks one enemy, her 2nd, Wrath of Gods level 3. Attacks one enemy, has 75% chance of placing 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. So yeah, she is not as good as Sorceress or Spirit Host, but if you don't use the other 2, but use her in a different venue, she can be used, but she is blue, she is attacked, she will die very fast, and she should never be used inside of a poison and HP burn team. That was Ritualist. She is actually my last choice for this dungeon, but that too makes her a viable candidate to be mentioned here. We had a look at Valerie already, so let's skip her. Let's go to Satyr. Satyr is deselected. Satyr is a viable champion if you start building a speed and turn meter manipulating team. I don't have High Cartoon on this account already, otherwise he would be in here too. His first attack, 25% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. It can be scaled up to 45% chance to proc this 15% decreased speed debuff. His 2nd is turn meter manipulation by 15% if this attack is critical. Cooldown 3 turns. So if you're going for a speed and turn meter manipulation strategy, he is suitable for this. I really don't know if it's the best strategy for force keep, probably not, but well, I haven't tried it yet, so I can't really say it. I have my doubts about it. He is uncommon, he is easily available from green shards and markets. He is very easy to skill, and he is green and an HP champion, so he is from survivability factor, from damage over time factor, very nice, and combine that damage over time factor with the idea of building a speed turn meter reduction team makes the whole idea, at least for me, already a little bit more inviting to explore, and I will explore it for sure. I just have the doubt that it will work better than a poison or decrease defense, weaken, savage gear strategy, but I will check it out. I will make a video about it. You can expect that. Satyr, there he is, green HP, great survivability, turn meter manipulation, speed manipulation, easy to get, easy to skill. I use him in other dungeons anyway, so I will check him out for you. I promise you that 100%. Shaman, we already had her, so let's go to Conqueror. Let's straight to Conqueror. His A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, nothing special here. His A2, cut down to size, level 1 attacks one enemy, removes 2 random buffs from the target. So that's as long as the minions are alive and put their increased defense buff on the Guardian, he can help out a little bit here. We have other champions who can do that as well. His third, Purge level 2, attacks one enemy. Enemy skilled by the skill cannot be revived. There is no revival of champions involved here, but it makes more damage than his A1, so, well, it's not a total waste, let us say it that way. His aura increases ally attack in all battles by 18%. We just had that on another champion. Conqueror Green attack, 18% ally attack. The other champion was Jisoo. He is epic, he is more powerful than Conqueror, but Conqueror is, well, if you use him anyway, check him out. I somehow can't stop myself. Let's have a look at Archer, our sniper duplicate. Double shot, attacks one enemy 2 times, has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Combine that with Miss Shaman, and you have 30% extra chance to inflict a critical hit. Fills this champion turn meter by 15% if this attack is critical. So yeah, nice. His second, powerful to clear the waves. Even after that, good damage dealer, has 10% chance placing 15% decreased speed debuff for 1 turn. That chance goes up to 25%, so it's not the most powerful turn meter manipulation skill, but she is awesome to clear the waves, same as Sniper, and she has very good damage capabilities, even in Force Keep, so don't discard them just because of the color. Even so, color triangle is very important. I just love those two, I told you already. So, these are the freely available to everyone champions that can be used within this particular keep, Force Keep. I will try to get my chosen combination deck. See that? The one at the end, skill food, very good. Just got her leveling some food. Alright, for me this particular combination worked best. So let's have a look at these champions, how I have geared them. Spirit Host, I got her geared in life and speed. You can see her gear is half decent, half crappy. It's early gameplay. I don't focus too much on giving them the best gear possible. She already has a good shield. Let's have a look at that shield. There, finally it pops up. Her shield, defense 103, resistance 9, HP 2 times rolled 10%. So that's a nice shield, and that's the reason she got it. All the rest is still 2-star or 3-star, and I'm totally okay with this. No need to put any more levels into those. Shield Guard, he is on immortal speed and defense. So defense champion, so let's give him some heal. I could put him in lifesteal, but I just chose to do it this way. HP shoes and defense chestplate, defense gloves. So just wanted to get some speed in there, and I have those quite nice immortal types. Crit rate 2 times rolled. Some resistance for Spider's Den. Please have a look at my Spider's Den guide. It's my longest video, but it's good. Take a look. So speed rolled and crit damage rolled on the shield. So shield guard, defense champion. Need to take advantage of this. Oh, do I have? Yay! What's this? Defense. Let's take care later. So next one, War Maiden. War Maiden is in speed and cruel. Yes, look at that. Look at that nice weapon here. Can't remember what it was. Void Keep guides, Spirit Keep guides, Magic Keep guides. I hadn't had her back then, so the later I get my champions, the better gear they tend to get. So accuracy 2 times. What was her skill set? That loading takes so long. 2.5% poison, 30% chance, and increase attack. We don't need it for attack. Decrease defense and poison. So it is not only a very good speed weapon, but that accuracy double rolled plus cruel should show her that I actually want to use her in Force Keep for quite some time. So Cruel, Speed, Accuracy up to apply those decrease down and those poisons. So there it is again, Accuracy. HP, it's not what she should have. Look at the substat. HP, it's not what she should have according to review, but she is attack, and it's always good to have some HP on them. Here it is again, Accuracy. Her total accuracy is 86%. Is 86, no percent. Very nice chest plate. Defense, crit damage, HP. So you see, she is literally geared within an early middle gameplay capabilities to be suitable for that particular dungeon, and she did quite well, I have to say. So on those speed boots, she finally got lucky with getting some attack, and that defense, yeah, well, it matters, but it doesn't matter too much when you have so many HP percentage substats. Those boots might be hard to replace over time. We'll have to check that out. Well, Sorceress, another one in the chosen team. So she's in lifesteal. Her attack weapon, speed and resistance. Helmet, accuracy and HP percentage. Shield, speed and defense percentage. Her 2-star gloves. Yay! Level 4. Maybe never ever gonna see level 8 at all. Attack percentage, attack substat. It was, I don't have too many lifesteal stuff at the moment. Just got lucky. Where are they? Huh, was a different set. Just got some nice 4-star speed boots from somewhere. Can't even remember what it was. So chestplate, accuracy with defense and crit rate, and those boots, speed, crit rate, and HP. Speed boots, yes, speed boots. So her skills are again decrease speed, that was extra hit, and decrease defense. Higher version, if she's fully ascended, is 60%. So I really like to have. It's only 36 at the moment. That's not enough accuracy. Really need to work on her. Okay, where is the other one? Do we have him already? Gale, Shield Guard, War Maiden, Sorceress. Yeah, that's 5 already. Well, I will end the video here. It was long enough. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell. Have a look at my channel. A lot of very good free-to-play resources for Raid Shadow Legends. From nerdy technical stuff over strategy stuff, over dungeon tutorials and guides, over just started a mini series about shields and a lot of stuff, and it will continually grow. Please go have a look, check it out. Like, share, subscribe. I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.